Okay, y'all, I think we live. It say we live. Let me look on my phone. Cause you two be lying sometimes. Lie a lot of times. Y'all, I'm tired. Don't be talking about me because I'm late. I be working. Like Clarence Carter, he be stroking. I be working. Yes, we live. Y'all can see me. We live. Why my phone don't want to let me click the video? If it ain't one thing, it's another. Your mother. Okay, I'm gonna get it together. Okay, we is live. I can see me, so I know y'all can see me. I gotta get my folks on MX Network on over here. And then we get started. I got homie comment up there because why you lying on me? I do not always be late. I've been on time a lot lately. A lot. Y'all give me credit for nothing. Just like a nigga. You do something right all the time. And the one time I used to be late in the past, y'all always trying to hold my past against me. Can't somebody grow? I've grown, okay? I don't always be late. Shut up. I'm sorry though. It's not my fault. I mean, it is, but you know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to be late. I was not. I've been in front of this camera all day, y'all. I had consultations. Then, as soon as those consultations ended, I had class today. Shout out to my mentorship group. We just got out of class, and I told them I told them they knew I was going to be a few minutes late because I needed at least 10 minutes to go to the bathroom. I gotta go tinkle. And I needed to turn these fucking lights on and hook up the camera and shit. Leave me alone. I'm working, okay? I didn't mean to be late, but I just had a lot of shit going on today. Now we had to come in and have this live tomorrow. I don't know. I might drop the link today. We'll see how y'all feel in the chat. I am kind of tired. If I drop the link, we're gonna be even extra long. But definitely tomorrow we have our call in. It is Friday, right? Yes, it's Friday. Okay, so tomorrow we do have our call in, and we're definitely gonna let this be one of our topics. I am still baffled. I know that a lot of you guys are gonna say, Michi, we don't fuck with Charleston White, but it's a lot of people that do. Like he's always on somebody's podcast. They're always grabbing this man. And I think that he is a testament to how sad some, and I want to emphasize the word some of our Black community can be. It's like, y'all act like this nigga be giving y'all like epiphany. Y'all act like Charleston White be saying some shit you ain't never heard in your life. And he'll say one thing that I would think that you should already know, and then he mixes it with so much hypocrisy and disrespect. Um, and y'all be like, "Oh well, he just telling the truth. He telling the truth." If Charleston White has ever said anything to you that opened your mind and you didn't see it that way, I just want you to know you officially are stupid. You kind of slow. You might be a crack baby. Ask your mother was she on drugs when she had you. I'm just saying. And Charleston White is your aha moment. Something wrong with you. You are LD. You in the slow class. Something wrong with you. I just, and I'm sure it's gonna be a nigga or two in the chat. And you are going to agree with his perspective and say, you're just mad because he's telling the truth. Michi is never offended at the truth. We live in the truth over here. We run towards the truth. We speak the truth. And we're going to speak truth tonight on Anthony's situation, right? There's going to be one or two things that I'm going to play this video. We're going to watch a whole interview he had sitting up there, with some white man. I think it's interesting that the white man is going to ask him, he's going to say to him, so what do you think about this case? Now, of course, this is the white man baiting him because they know that he's going to play their side. So they want to hear what Charleston is going to say because Charleston is about to be disrespectful to Black people. He's about to say the craziest thing. And we can't say what we want to say about these Negroes. We can't say it. but we gonna let Charleston say it for us. That's why he got him on the show. So we're gonna watch this 7-minute clip, and I'm gonna try not to interrupt it, but there are times I'm gonna have to cut in because I'm gonna have to give you my 2 cents on it. And then we are gonna look at how Charleston White talks about the Black community and to the Black community. And then we're gonna watch you how he act when he get pulled over by the police. We got a whole video of police cam footage of him getting pulled over by the police, begging, shucking, jiving, telling his whole life story. Officer, please don't put me down. Please, master, don't take me to jail. Come on, man. You know, my mama's sick. I got a limp leg. You know, I'm just trying to live my life. Like, Charleston is a snitch for real. Now, I want you to understand there's nothing wrong in the community. If somebody is doing dirt, get their ass up out of the community. But if you are doing the dirt with somebody, y'all doing the dirt together, that's snitching. You don't run out and go do no dirt with nobody and then turn around and want to tell on everybody so that you don't get in trouble. Go serve your time. It's funny how he won't, this boy going to jail. He think everybody else's injustices are justified. But nigga, we know you not serving life because you a snitch. And we're going to show you. This man pull you over and all he asked Charleston for in this video is his license and registration. This man tell him his whole life story. If you ever did anything wrong to him, he think you committing a crime. He told on everybody, his mom, his dad, his cousin, his brother, and the police didn't even ask this nigga about none of that. He got something. So we're going to watch some videos tonight of Charleston. And as we watch these videos, I want to say, what's that nigga name with the titties he lost weight that be hanging out? Dewberry. Motherfucking Dewberry. Nigga, if you in my chat, fuck you and that little drunk ass uncle you been hanging out with. See, because I tell y'all all the time, you think that Charleston always have some clever stuff to say. He's not really smart. What he does is he listens to Black people in the community that are actually activists that do the work, and he steals their rhetoric, and then he adds his ignorance to it. If I watch that nigga recite one more line of some shit that he got from Michi X that I can show you verbatim. When you steal people's shit, Charleston, you're supposed to twist it up and say it a little different. You don't say it exactly how you got it from me. And for niggas to be like, Charleston don't watch, you know, his right-hand man don't do. Dewberry, you follow me on all my platforms. Stop it. I bet you if I could look through my YouTube, you follow me here too. Because you're all up on my Instagram. You all up in the video. Nigga, you everywhere. Dewberry, stop watching me. Okay? Tell Charleston I said, ain't he supposed to be in jail? Whenever there's a nigga that keep going to jail, but then he always free, like, why is he even out to have a conversation on this man's podcast? I could have swore a couple weeks ago he was arrested. For what? Coming after somebody with a gun? For trying to assault somebody? And this is the second time he's been charged with that, so he got some nerve to be talking about somebody. Why is this man always free? I thought that he was just in jail. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm from the hood. So don't play with us, Dewberry, because we all understand, those of us that's from the hood, whenever a nigga is constantly being arrested, but every time you turn around, he's constantly free, he a snitch. And when I say he a snitch, like he worked with the police. He worked with the police. Like call him on the phone, like, yeah, I got in good with them niggas. They over here, they doing these jobs. Like he worked for them. They pay him. That's why they keep spitting him back out to the streets. We not all slow, baby. We all understand what's going on, unless you one of them fools who really believe in Charleston White. We're not slow. I know exactly what be going on. Charleston is on their payroll. He's what we call an informant. This is why every time he gets into it with a Black person, he threatens to call them people on him, and he got police officers' number on his speed dial. It's because you're an informant, bruh. How much they pay you? It must be good because you get kicked off every platform. They keep you out of jail every time you do some dirt. And I'm saying that shit with a straight ass face. For real, for real. Shout out to you, Walter. I want to thank you for showing love over there on MX Network. Thank you for the donation. Let me go back because I did not miss it. Shout out to the Don. He always showing love. Usually giving the first super chat of the night, as he did tonight. Him and Dr. Umar need to be together. I don't know what they need to do, but they both some damn fools. Thank you for the super chat. So y'all, let me first tell you about the case of Anthony Carmelo. If you have not heard of it, this is what some people was asking me about, I guess, like a week ago on my live, and I hadn't really looked into the story. I wasn't sure that was the young man's name when I'd heard about it. So Let me give you that story if you have not heard it. And then we will go into what Charleston had to say about it. Okay. So, first of all, this situation happened out in Texas, I believe that it was, and there was some schools that came together. It was not the same high school. It was like a track meet. They were doing some competing against each other. And Anthony, the young man that's black, there was a white boy. I don't even know his name. Don't fault me for it, but in real Michi fashion, I don't really care what his name is, right? Metcalf, some shit like that, okay? So he's a twin, and I guess Anthony was sitting in a section that does not belong to him, okay? And shout out to you, Danielle. Thank you for that. Much love back to you, sis. So he's sitting in a section that's not belong to him, and the guy goes up to him and he says to him, "This ain't your section." They get into an altercation. Okay, his name is Austin Metcalf. Okay, I was close. I was close. I'm just being honest. I don't know his name. I didn't really care. That's not the kid that stood out. Now I'm not saying that it's okay that he's there because, again, out of all the stuff Charleston about to say, is two things that I'm agree with him with. Two of them, and that's it, right? But the rest of it is a hot mess that what he's about to say and what you're about to hear him say. But they get into an altercation. Anthony stabs this boy one time, stabs him in the heart. Can't be stabbing people in the heart. They don't come back from that, bro. He dies. The news is making all dramatic. He died in his twin's arms. I'm sure it's sad. A life is a life, right? And so the boy is dead. Anthony runs off, but then the police catch him, and then he says, is he dead? He's asking, oh my God, did he die? And then he's saying it was self-defense because he felt that the boy was bullying him. Now, we're gonna speak in facts in the situation because when he say he was being bullied, I just want everybody to be clear and understand that these two boys don't go to the same high school. So I'm not sure what they mean by bullying. I'm not sure by that because there seems to be no history, according to even one of Anthony's family members. It's not like these boys went to school every day and he was being bullied by this boy every day or something. It seems like, they may have crossed paths because they compete in a sport, but it doesn't seem like they really have a history. Okay? So I'm going to be fair when it comes to the facts of this, because once again, we can feel how we want to feel, but we're going to talk about what's actually going to hold up and what they're looking at in the court. Okay. So when he says this is self-defense, I would like to know some more about the altercation. I'm not sure how the altercation went down, but it's not a case of this boy was bullied all the time by this young man and his twin brother, and he was scared of them, so he brought a knife to school. That's not what this is, okay? So let's just be clear about that. So anyway, Anthony is in jail. I am going to give you all Anthony's information tonight if you would like to reach out to him. He did have a GoFundMe. They have taken that GoFundMe down. I do think that it is fucked up that they took his GoFundMe down, and I'm going to tell you why. Because in this country, we have lived long enough to know that if the races were reversed, if they were, that white boy might still be at home right now, and they might be investigating whether it was self-defense or not, right? And even if he did get charged with murder and get taken to jail, they wouldn't be taking down his GoFundMe. We've seen it with Kyle Rittenhouse. We saw with the white man on the train who killed that black man who wasn't hurting nobody, right? And he choked that man out. Talking about self-defense. It wasn't self-defense. In New York, you got a right to retreat. This man was being loud and belligerent, but he didn't have a weapon. He didn't touch anybody, and you choked the life out of him for what? What self-defense? He didn't do anything to anybody. And we watch this white man get off. We watch people have GoFundMes for them, and they're being charged with murder and claiming self-defense. We watch Kyle Rittenhouse. So it's just amazing to me how when the roles are reversed, you can say what y'all want to say. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the first one to tell you I get tired of when motherfuckers play the race card and it's not a race card. Because it is plenty of times when we can definitely pull out the race card and say, really, this is some bullshit right here. Now, it's not a matter that this boy should get off. Somebody is still dead, right? We got to look at the facts of this case. But why you take his GoFundMe down? Why does he have the right to have a fair trial? He is a child who has never had a record before. He doesn't have any money of his own. He's not a flight risk. Now, this is the perspective of the court. He's not a flight risk. If you look on we're going to look at it too in the county jail. It shows who's on his visiting list. He has a father. So I don't want to hear that bullshit about, oh, these old single mothers raising these crazy ass niggas. Because I've already heard that narrative. Nigga, he lived with his daddy. His daddy and his stepmother. And he has siblings. And they all are signed up on his visitation list. Immediately they went in there and did that. Seemed like to me the boy is supported and loved and he belonged to a family. So we're going to cut that fucking narrative. Okay? We're not even going to go there. Because y'all love to try and go there. And when I say y'all, I'm talking about the Black community. We love to go there. Oh, these single mamas. He wasn't being raised by a single mother. Okay? But why you take this boy GoFundMe down? Why can't he have the opportunity to get a lawyer and have a fair trial? What's wrong with a fair trial? I thought that's how America is supposed to work. Why can't he get a paid attorney instead of a court-appointed one? Why doesn't he have the right to that? If people want to donate and help him, I thought it was innocent until proven guilty. So even though that there is a boy that's dead, why do you say that he can't collect funds when I have watched GoFundMe collect all kinds of funds for white people accused of the same crime? I've also seen these white people with a lot less bail and they're able to bond out. Even though they're grown-ups, they might have means to leave. If this boy get bonded out, he gonna be right at his house. He ain't got nowhere to go. He ain't got a bunch of means. He's not a hardened criminal. He has no other record. So at the end of the day, what's the problem? Because he's Black. So let's be honest about that. They have removed this boy's GoFundMe. And we know we have watched him do the very opposite when it comes to white people charged with the same crime. That's the race part to this. Right? That's why I see racism. That's why I see them treating him different because he's Black. Other than that, I don't think there was a race issue in what happened at the field. I don't think that's what this is about. But if you're looking for the race dynamic, there you go. Okay? $1 million bond and you done took the boy GoFundMe down. That's crazy because you don't do it to the white people. Shout out to you, Chris. Chris says, I heard the kid on the train was threatening people. If he didn't get anything to eat, he was going to delete some people. So that's what made Daniel Penny do what he had to do. Anyway, thank you, Chris, for the super chat. But again, we're talking about law here, right? So in New York, you don't have the right to stand your ground. So what that means by law is that you must retreat and try to get away before you just decide to attack someone. The next thing is that words are not the same thing as a physical threat. There are definitions for these things in the actual courtroom. And for him to say words, he is a mentally ill, homeless man on the train yelling what he's yelling, but he hasn't touched anybody. So at the end of the day, Mr. Daniel Penny could have stood his ass back. He could have waited for the moment he tried to lunge at somebody, and then he did it. That's just like a police officer. Can a police officer shoot somebody by law just because they're screaming words? No, the officer actually has to wait for them to do something. If a person is standing right here saying, I'm gonna hurt this bitch, and the bitch is over here to the left, but they never lunge at the bitch. The officer can have his gun trained on him and say, sir, I'm telling you right now, you need to stand down. I'm gonna kill this bitch, I'm gonna hurt this bitch, but he don't lunge at the bitch. He don't got a knife in his hand. He don't got a weapon. He don't go towards her. The officer cannot just shoot him because of words. I want you to know that that standard also applies to that white man that you're talking about on the train. Next thing is, for any of you in here who want to take that perspective, do you know what it takes to choke the life out of somebody? I'm gonna just sit there and let you think about it for a moment, because it takes so much time to choke the life out of someone. Matter of fact, if I made us sit here for the amount of minutes that it would take a person to be deprived of oxygen to actually die, you niggas would start leaving and think my stream is frozen because it would be too long of a silence for y'all. So you mean to tell me that this man was a vet and he could not put him in a sleep hold and put him to sleep? You didn't realize when the man was already passed out because you choked him passed out. That's why he dead. As soon as a person starts to pass out, that's when you let a nigga go. Now he's asleep and here come the police. But you kept choking him. You choked him past him being passed out. Are you really justified? Or you just saying it? I mean, I don't know. Sometimes Texas can get misconstrued, so maybe you don't mean it the way you're saying it, but it seems like to me you're trying to justify what this man did. That was not self-defense. Just because a person is screaming some shit to the top of their lungs, but there's no action behind those words, that does not mean anything in the court of law. Doesn't mean anything in the real world. People can say whatever they say. It's about what they go and they do. He didn't have to hold that man and choke him that long. So see, Penny had a lot of options. He chose none of those other options. I can name about 4 of them that he could have used to still protect the people if he was going to do something. Penny chose none of those options. He went straight to, I'm going to kill a nigga. No, it's not right. And it's against the law. But this is the thing. I'm going to say this again. Until he went to trial, isn't everybody innocent until proven guilty? Or shouldn't they be anyway? So when he was charged with the murder of that man, whether they decided if it was self-defense or not through trial, Kyle Rittenhouse was charged with murdering people, but he said it was self-defense. He had to go through trial to see if that was true. We're not going to argue the facts in the public opinion when it comes to the court of law. Anthony said it was self-defense, and he's being charged with the death of someone as well. The charges are the same, Chris. So until we actually go through the court to give him his day and his fair trial, why is he not being treated the same when the people you just named, that Penny, he's a grown motherfucking man, a grown ass man. He served in his armed services in this country. But we don't have as much leeway for the 17-year-old boy? Nah. I'm not buying that shit. At all. Chris says, shout out to you for the super chat. I agree with you wholeheartedly, Miss Michi. I'm on your side. Okay, well, don't be telling people that shit you just said in the last super chat, because it's like that's what I hear from everybody. Like they're trying to say this is why he did it. I don't care why Penny did it. He was wrong. By law, he was wrong. You can't just choke somebody out over words. If that's the case, I would go to New York right now, choke the fuck out of Goddess Masterpiece for all the words she said to me, because I can't stand that bitch. And I expect to get off, goddammit. Okay, I'm stop. I ain't gonna choke nobody out. I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna stop. But she be crying in the video tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, y'all. So this is the story of Anthony and what happened. Okay, so now he's in jail. His bond is $1 million. Yeah, and they've taken down his GoFundMe. I think they raised over 100, like maybe $160,000. So I'm sure they probably didn't get those funds either. So now they're back to having nothing, you know. Which is a sad thing, because I'm sure that everybody wants to see their day in court for their child, right? They want it to be fair. And you know, Anthony's life matters, just like, you know, the white boy. I don't know his name. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. What's his name? Metcalf, y'all said. Austin. That's what Austin. Okay, so Austin, his family is very devastated too. But no, his family is not more important than other people's family. I'm sure that you know, Anthony's family is devastated right now. I know it's not murder, but as a mother who has watched her 16-year-old son be dragged off to prison and know they're just a kid. Carmelo is 17 years old, so he's in the county jail. He's with adults, but he's just a kid. He really is just a kid, y'all. And he's in adult jail right now with grown ass adults. And he gonna go to prison, and that prison gonna eat that boy up alive. It's a tragedy, but I don't agree that you should go around just killing people over arguments. But I also don't feel like we're supposed to keep throwing away children's lives like this either. Nobody's winning on either side. None of this is a fucking win. Shout out to you, Edward. Thank you for the super chat. Hell, Michi, what happened to the money that's raised when they take down the GoFundMe accounts? I think that. Thank you for the super chat. I think that Ramsey said it's not taken down. Well, if it's not taken down, then send me the link, because the link that I had that showed it, it says that you can't find that fund anymore, and all over social media it keeps saying that it's been taken down. And I had a link to a GoFundMe. The GoFundMe I had the link to I don't see it. So somebody said it somewhere else. Well, if they moved it, send it to me then. Send it to me so I can give it to the people. You can text it to me, Rams. You got my number. Text it to me. Or put it in the chat, y'all, if y'all know what it is. Y'all put it in the chat. The moderators will pop it out there because GoFundMe took the shit away. I'm glad. It's called Give, See, and Go. Okay, that's a new one. I ain't never heard of that one. So I need y'all to do some work. I need somebody to go, while you watching this, go and get the link and throw it in the chat for me, all right? So that we can share it with everybody else. Hold on. Bet said he got punked out for shit he started, so he pulled a knife. He deserves to rot in jail. Were you there? Look, y'all, I got opinions. Was you there? Was you there? You should shut up because you wasn't there. So you don't know. You don't know. Oh, but because he a black boy, whether you black or you white, whoever's saying that comment, you just know what happened because he a black boy, he deserve it. You wasn't there. You don't know what the hell happened. You don't know what the hell happened at all. Don't none of us know. You know, it's a lot of stuff going around on the internet as of right now, and a lot of what I've been hearing, I don't know what's true and what's not true. So I choose not to speak to the stuff that we can't prove as a fact, right? Because my understanding is there are a lot of kids coming out and saying that even though some kids are sad about this boy that got stabbed, they said that him and his brother was a bully. I don't know if that's true or not. So I can't speak on that. But they say that there are children that are saying that he got what he deserved because he always fucking with people. I don't know. Is that true or is that not true? So I would say you should shut up for anybody in the chat. If you don't know what's going on, you should let things play out and let stuff happen. Because the same people who would say he deserves to rot in jail, that are the same goddamn people who would turn around and say that Daniel Penny deserved not to go to jail because he was doing a justice for everybody on the train. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. Okay. And I think it's very sad that in all this situation, the one thing that most motherfuckers don't have today is called some humanity, because the bottom line is 2 families have lost their children. Nobody is winning here. Nobody is winning here. And he does not deserve to rot in hell. I don't think he does at all. I don't think he deserves to rot in hell, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because we live in a society where you breed our children on nothing but fucking violence. He's a kid. He's a kid. He doesn't know what else to do. See, when I was growing up, we would fight and live to see another day. I had big brothers. They would prepare me to whoop somebody's ass. We wasn't trying to grab a weapon because we didn't want to have a fight with somebody. No, he shouldn't have even had a knife. Why do you have a knife at a goddamn track meet? I agree with that. Why do you even have that? But then the thing is, are you in Anthony's life? Do you know what he deals at school? Do you know why he has that knife? Do you know how his life has been? Do you know how he perceives certain things? Like, society gears our children towards violence. This is why some of the shit Charleston White that I'm going to play for you kills me. Because everybody acts like, oh, the little black kids is just so violent. Like, at the end of the day, America is violent, nigga. It's amazing how we dismiss our kids for the violence that they perpetuate when it's like, who the fuck you think they got it from? America is one of the most violent places in the world. But y'all try to act like it's not. It's in the video games all day long. Look at what the fuck is in the music that they project. And people gonna say, well, why they make the music? I grew up in a time where you couldn't say bitch on TV. Like, you know, there is regulations. The government always trying to regulate the wrong shit. Why don't y'all regulate something right? Because if they said that music was inappropriate, if they said these things were not right to be played for children, or you can't have certain stuff on TV, you know, we used to have certain things you couldn't even go into the store and buy, as far as a video game or a CD, if you weren't of a certain age. If the CD said it had a parental advisory and explicit lyrics, I couldn't buy that album if I wasn't 18 years old. So they have all of these stipulations they could put into place, but instead they feed our children violence for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 2 snacks in between, and then they dream about that shit. And then you wonder why our youth is the way it is. Joe Blow. Suck a dick, okay? Why are you cursing so much? Because I'm 46 years old. This is my platform. Last time I checked, I'm grown as hell. And curse words are just words. Why are you so bothered by words? I suggest you stop being a punk bitch and stop letting words bother you so much. If anybody describes Michi, one of the things they're always going to describe me, he'll say, boy, Michi is a cusser. And I'm going to say, you motherfucking right, I am, bitch. Why is you cussing so much? Say something else in my chat and you won't be saying nothing because we're going to block your ass. I never understood why grown people bring their ass over to somebody else's place and then try and tell people how to conduct themselves. Last time I checked, I was grown. Last time I checked, YouTube is your choice. Nobody forced you to be here. You can go watch the non-cussing chop. There's tons of them. Go find you one and go fucking watch it, okay? When I was a kid, I couldn't wait to get grown so I could cuss. And ever since I got grown, I've been fucking cussing ever since, god damn it. Y'all stupid. Y'all just stupid. That's what it is. You a crack baby, ain't you, Joe? And then you got the nerve to have your name be Joe Blow. Why you cussing so much? Why you suck dick so much, Joe Blow? This is where we left off. Hold on. Let me make sure I didn't miss none. Okay. No, I didn't miss any. Okay, let me go to Chris Reed. He says, shout out to you for the other super chat. Chris always showing love. We can agree to disagree sometimes, but he said he wasn't disagreeing with me. So we on the same page. He says, please don't take this the wrong way. If people stop complaining and just go and support him in his defense, maybe we might have some justice. Or by the way, the daddy himself said it's not over race. I don't think it's over race either. I said that. I said the reason they're taking his GoFundMe down is because of who he is. I've watched GoFundMe leave up funds for white people with the same charges. So I just said I don't think that it's about racism. And when you say go support him so we can get justice, I'd be careful using the word justice because by the definition of justice in this country, he did kill that boy. So is it really justice for him to go home? Come on. So again, I love when people think they know where I'm going with something, and that's not even where I'm going because I'm not trying to dismiss Anthony's actions just because he's a black boy. I'm definitely not. So when you say when we rally and help him, we are helping him. But to say instead of complaining, y'all got to stop calling people bringing attention to something complaining. When you say complaining, who's complaining? I mean, since this live came on, you say don't take it the wrong way, but I think that you've taken the stuff I've said already the wrong way because I haven't complained one damn time. I'm actually informing you guys of what happened in the situation. I've cussed a couple people out in the chat. I've given my perspective on GoFundMe taking his shit down. I've talked about the violence that's in America. I just said both families lost their children. There's no win in this situation, right? So I don't think that I complained about anything. And I hate when y'all say that because so should we all shut the fuck up? How do you even bring awareness to what's going on for people to support Anthony if they would like to support Anthony? How do you do that if people do not talk about it? If it wasn't for talking about it, social media, people posting it, your ass wouldn't even know about this case. So come on, Chris. Come on. Come on, Chris. Chris came back with the $5 holler and said, where's Mike Tyson? Where are some of those millionaires that can help these young men? It's not their job and they don't care. Shout out to BIT in the house with the $5 holler. Says Charleston has bragged a lot about getting his guns. If a man tries to fight him, he should be one to talk. Peace, Michi. We going there tonight. Absolutely. He is the most, I'm going to go do some violent stuff to somebody. He pull out a weapon. He a punk. He don't never want to fight with his hands. You ain't never lied. But that's why I want you to hear this bullshit he finna say on this goddamn podcast. It's hypocrisy at its finest. Of all people, he got to shut up. Shout out to Chris back with the $5 holler. Says Miss Michi, it's the ratings what curve the rules and regulations. Well, it is what it is. Shout out to Kimberly. Kimberly said, I don't got a goddamn thing to say. I just want to give you $5. Shout out to Kimberly for the super chat. All right, y'all. So we're going to play this and then we'll get into this conversation about Charleston White. But before I play this really quickly, I do want to finish because even though I cuss people out, if you've been here for a while, you already know Michi. I didn't forget where I was. And I do want to say that our children are bombarded with violence, and the children today are taught to deal with things in a different way. At 17 years old, on some real shit, people think because you cuss a lot, you don't have any education. I think there's a difference between education and intelligence, and baby, I have them both. But my degree in psychology states a fact that at 17 years old, an individual's reasoning is not fully developed. And reasoning, to put it plainly, is just being able to rationalize a situation from all aspects. You're living in the moment. You run on emotions more than thinking about what you're doing or logic. And so when we're young, I think one of the biggest prayers for all of my children as they were growing up, they're all in their young adulthood, they getting up there, you know what I'm saying, 21, 22, 23, they getting up there, is that they would not do something in their young emotional teenage state that would affect the rest of their life. And my 16-year-old did, and it has affected his whole entire life. He hasn't killed anybody, but his mistake has taken his whole fucking life away from him. And so I want us to understand that these children don't rationalize what they're doing. Before he pulled out that knife, there was nothing for him to say. And this is a fact. You can assume what you want. His brain don't work like that. He's emotional in that moment. Nothing stopped and said, boy, you are a star athlete. Boy, you can walk away from this moment. Boy, if you stab him, he probably gonna die. If he died, you gonna go to jail for the rest of your life. And do you know what the rest of your life looks like? No, because he's only lived 17 years. If they sentence this boy to 25 years, he doesn't even know what 25 years look like because he don't even have that to compare that to. He don't know what the inside of a jail cell look like. He has no comprehension of what it means to be away from your family, to give away all your goals and your careers, to grow up and not have a life to be able to achieve or to do any goddamn thing. None of that is running through his mind at all because he's 17. Children have the most malleable and moldable mind that there is. You can make a child whatever you want them to be. You can make a child a badass. You can turn them into a genius. You can turn them into an athlete. You can turn them into whatever you want them to be because you can mold their minds. And America has fed our children nothing but a constant state of violence. And I know people are going to say, well, the parents should be on it. He has a father, he has a mother, he has siblings, he has a home that he comes from that has double parents. But let's be honest, when your children go off to school every day, they spend more time in the school system than they spend with you. If you're a real parent, if you're not a parent, you should shut the fuck up. If you're not a parent and you don't wake up every day with your kids in your house and raising them and go through the ups and downs of babies all the way up to young adults, if you haven't done that, you don't have a say in this conversation because you can love your kids. You can treat them all, teach them all the right things to do, but you are still constantly combating social media. What happens in school. Children at their age, they go through something called egocentrism. So everything that happens to them seems so much bigger than it is. If they have a bad hair day, they swear everybody can see their bad hair. If they got a pimple, it's the biggest pimple in the world. Everybody can see it. If you get beat up at school and it's recorded on video, which that didn't happen to us when we were growing up, it can be so devastating to that child. They think their life is over. I think in the teenage years, the one thing I had to tell my kids the most is these motherfuckers won't matter. When you turn 25, 26, you over there living. When you get out of school, when you're not around no other 10, you won't even remember these niggas' names. I promise you, they play such a small factor in your real life. These fuckers don't matter in the bigger picture. And my kids is like, what bigger picture? I can't even imagine being 30. I'm only fucking 14. They don't understand that shit. And so, as a parent, you can do your best to raise your children, but you are constantly combating against their peers and what they think it matters more. That is with every child. It's nothing to do with a parenting style. So at the end of the day, I feel for all of our youth because even in what that boy did, Anthony, I guarantee you he's not a bad kid. He made a stupid fucking judgment. He did the dumbest thing he could ever do in his life, and he did it without even fucking thinking. And now he's thrown away his life. But I don't think Anthony's a murderer. Like if he was free, he would just go around murdering people or all of a sudden turn into this badass kid. He's not an ex-criminal. He's not in a gang. He's actually a star athlete that had a great future ahead of him. He made a dumb decision. And I feel sorry for him. I really do. And I get tired of the ridicule of our children. People will say in 1 minute, well, why don't these athletes or these rich people help these young boys? But as soon as the person get in a situation like Anthony, y'all go online and a lot of people either support him. They don't even know why they support him. They just support him because he's black. And don't get me wrong, I'm down with supporting people just because they black. I mean, hey. Power to the black people, right? So I'm okay with that. But there's also a lot of negativity and people saying bad things about Anthony, like he deserves to rot in jail. I find it amazing that people talk about a young person being prone to violence at this game, but at the same time, look how uncaring you guys are towards him. You're so quick to throw away a child, but you wonder why he was so quick to throw away a life. Look at how we treat our youth. It's fucked up, for real. So no, I'm not angry at Anthony, and I don't think he deserves to rot in jail for the rest of his life. Now, on some real shit, if you take race out the situation, the other boy, and forgive me, I just don't know his name. He don't stick in my face. When I see my people, that's just kind of where my attention go. I don't remember his Austin. There we go. Austin. Pain doesn't have a race on it. His family is devastated because he ain't never coming back. He ain't never coming back. But I want to tell y'all some real shit. Anthony not never coming back either. If he don't get killed in prison, that prison is going to swallow that boy up and turn him into something that when he does come home, his family not going to know that boy. They're not going to recognize that Anthony. The Anthony they know today, he's good as dead and gone too. That Anthony's never coming back. They're not going to know the Anthony that they get back when they finally get him back. Both of those boys are dead. Have some fucking sympathy for our youth. You wonder why they're so fucking crazy and out of control. Y'all love to down some fucking kids. That's what the fuck wrong with y'all now. Chris says, so a young minor that goes with an older woman and loses his virginity, what I'm hearing, his brain is not developed, so he don't know what he doing. Chris, why are you bringing this dumb shit up? What does this have to do with our conversation? And how long have you been following me, Chris? Shout out to you for the super chat. But yeah. You says if a minor goes with an older woman, so are you speaking of a boy? Yes, and loses his virginity. What you're saying is his brain is not developed. Yeah, he don't know what he's doing. Whoever said that they didn't? I mean, how long have you been following me? I think that I've had that conversation plenty over here. Whenever a young boy gets his virginity taken from an older woman, everybody pats him on the back. We say that women are sexual objects. I say that men are sexual objects more than we like to admit. You know why? Because they feel like at no matter what age, no matter who the woman is, that a man should always be willing to be touched, grow, have sex. And if you do get some coochie from a woman and you 15 and your 27-year-old babysitter, right, sexually assault you, people be like, oh, what you sad for, nigga? You got some grown woman coochie. They pat them on the back like it's a badge. But it can be traumatizing to him. But we don't even allow boys to be traumatized because we tell them it's supposed to be a good thing. So even though they feel that way inside, they suck it up because society tells them that's what a man does. You go out to the bar, a woman gets drunk, she wants to feel all over a man. Who said that he wants to be touched in his private parts and be violated? All of a sudden, it's because you a man. What's the big deal? But when you do it to a woman, all of a sudden, it's a different deal. I actually agree with you, Chris. I don't know what that has to do with this conversation, but boy or girl, when they're children, none of them can consent to that. And even boys being taken advantage of sexually at a young age, it can destroy them as well. They can grow up and become boys who constantly chase sex, and it messes up all their relationships. I'm sure some of y'all may know men that's all they do. It's like they let sex destroy their lives, their marriage, their families. They chase after it no matter what it costs them. Those boys are probably traumatized. They probably were sexually assaulted when they were younger. So I mean, I don't know if you asking me and you don't know that perspective that I bring or what that has to do with this, but yeah, boy or girl, if young people are going to experiment with having sex, they should be doing it with children their age. 2 16-year-olds that don't know what the fuck they doing should be having sex together. That's how it should work. Not some grown ass man or grown ass woman having grown ass sex with a child. I don't give a fuck if it's a boy or a girl. So yes, Chris, I agree with you. Okay. Now, with that said, let me let's play this video. Let's watch Crackhead Charles. Chris coming back with the $10 holler. Chris, I'm about to read this. I'm about to play this video. Chris says, "You're absolutely right, Miss Michi. You, a one parent or two parent household can do the best job in the world, but once they get around their youth, their peers, it can go anywhere." Yeah, kids look to their peers. They don't listen to their parents. At one point, they don't care what you think about them. They care what their peers think about them. They have to face them every day. They spend more time in school around their peers than they ever do around you. So with that said, y'all, come on, let's play this video. Y'all share this video, like this video. I ain't said it when I came in today. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you're tired of watching the videos, because I didn't say this either, and you want to watch this uninterrupted with the videos, the commercials on YouTube, you come over to MX Network, you guys, and watch it over there with us. Shout out to everybody over there. We have a chat over there as well. Look at Glenn. Glenn said he was assaulted at 8 by his 16-year-old cousin girl. See, y'all gonna turn the conversation into something else. That's some bullshit, Glenn. I'm sorry that happened to you. I really am. But shout out to everybody on MX Network. You can come over there. The link to that is in the description of the YouTube video. And you can watch over there and in the chat. And you can, get down with the get down. And you don't have to watch any of these videos. And you can do that with your free subscription. But if you want, you can get a paid one and you can watch much more. All right, y'all. Let me share this. Let's get into this. I can't stand this nigga Charleston White. I swear to God. Here we go. I'm gonna read the super chats after we finish with this, y'all. Okay, I'll come back to him.
Austin Metcalf, you see the boy in Frisco stabbed to death by Karmelo Anthony?
Yeah. My heart goes out to the family. They trying to make this a race issue, and this is a right or wrong issue.
Okay. So no, real quick, I like where you're going on this because I'm not even trying to race bait or anything. People are making this about black and white. You see that they're trying to make this kind of like a Trayvon Martin kind of, they're talking about it. But where do you?
It is. Trayvon Martin was an angry black kid that had to be sent to his father because he lacked discipline. Grew up in a home with his single mother. Any well-behaved kid with manners that had respect of adults, once George Zimmerman approached him, whether he's right or wrong, as a child, this is an adult. You get off the phone with that fat-ass girlfriend you trying to fuck, you call your dad and say, "Hey, Dad, it's an adult around here to just stop me." He says he's calling the police. Rather than doing that, he had an attitude because as young black males in this country, we have an authority problem because we walking around angry, displaced from our father's issues, but we resent our mothers.
Now, we gonna stop right there. Just right there for the moment. The nigga ain't spoke but for 2 seconds and he done already pissed me off. Okay? First, I want to say for the white man, don't play these psychological games, sir, okay? Because he says he doesn't want to race bait, but that's exactly what he wants to do. This is why he asked Charleston White his perspective. We all know that when Charleston goes off, especially when he's in the room with Caucasian people, he is always going to lean to his side and he is going to down his black people. So when the white man said, "I don't want to play this as a race issue," why did you even ask Charleston White what he thought? Because you already knew what he was going to say. That's why you asked him, so that Charleston could say the things about black people that his white ass actually wants to say, but instead he gonna let Charleston do the work for him. Next thing is, I don't know who the fuck brought up Trayvon Martin. Nobody said anything about Trayvon. Nobody is comparing this case to that, so I don't know where that white man got that from. I've not heard any of that online, right? So that's just some shit that he brought up. And then here Charleston goes into his disrespect. First of all, he talked about how ain't nobody got no father. Trayvon had a father. See, it's like we want to stick with this scenario, whether it's true or not. How the fuck do you know what was going on in this boy's life and where he was? He did have a father. He was going back to his father's house walking from the stove. So again, stop saying he ain't got no father. And then to say, I think it's rather interesting in America for him to then say that black boys have an authority problem. What? I just gotta let that marinate some silence for a minute. So black boys have an authority problem. Black boys don't ever listen to anybody. So white kids and all these other kids listen to people. Let me tell you something. I grew up in all of the different suburbs, and because my mama would keep us in the suburbs when I was in Detroit, I would be with my black family. My mother always wanted to live in white places with white people. When we got out to the suburbs, and I used to go to them white kids' houses, they was the most disrespectful kids I ever seen in my life. No lie. I never forget one time, the little nigga whose house we was at, he ain't black, he a white boy, but he a nigga. And his mama told him to wash the dishes. He said, "Fuck you, bitch. I'm not washing no dishes." And he spit in the sink. And I remember thinking, because he had a daddy. The mama cried and said, "Why don't you ever listen to anything I tell you to do?" What? What? It's amazing how black people always want to speak about what black folks do compared to what other folks don't do. But when you ask them, have you ever spent any time with that race or that group of people? They ain't spent no time. If you ain't never been around no white kids, if you ain't never been around no Mexican kids, shut the fuck up talking about what kids do what and what kids don't do something. Next thing is, I think that as black people in this country, I think it's obvious to see why it is that we have a problem with white people who are overstepping their bounds. It's not about authority, but when a young black man is walking somewhere minding his business, right? And a white man who was told by the police not to go outside and fuck with him decides to chase him down and boy him and son him like something is wrong with him for just walking through the goddamn apartment complex. He doesn't owe that man any respect. And it's amazing how Charleston got all of this heat for this boy, but he's a teenager. But you don't have anything to say about George Zimmerman, who is a grown ass man who should know, nigga, that's not your child. He's outside. He's nowhere near your door in your vicinity and the police. So what about the grown ass white man that had a problem with authority because when the authorities told him don't go the fuck outside, he went outside anyway? You see how Charleston missed all of that just to down the black kid. I can't stand this nigga, I swear.
So we're a ticking time bomb.
Oh, and let me say this too. Why he got to get off the phone with that fat bitch he trying to fuck? Who said that's what he was trying to do? And why his girlfriend got to be a fat bitch? Do you see the lack of empathy and sympathy that he has for black people, but he black him damn self? Why does that girl have to be fat? And how do you know that's what he was on the phone trying to do? So here he is painting the picture of black boys being not able to listen to authority and being defiant and aggressive, the label they've always put on black men in this fucking country, right? Then he also is going to put on him that he's oversexed and he's thinking about his girlfriend. And then we go into the plight of all black women is some fat, out of shape bitches. This is exactly what he said with his rhetoric. So if you heard him verbatim, know that subconsciously he's saying a whole lot fucking more than you actually hear coming out his mouth.
And Trayvon Martin could fight. So that's why I say you be careful approaching some of these young kids. What a 13-year-old will kick a 40-year-old's ass.
That's true.
And that's what happened in that situation. He underestimated this kid and he was looking for trouble. But by law, he was right. And he was judged by his peers. So we can't say nothing once you're judged by your peers.
Well, what do you think's going to happen in this Austin Metcalf thing? You think he's
Metcalf ass go, well, no, that boy going
Carmelo
to jail.
Anthony's going to go to jail.
Carmelo going to jail. Because listen, you cannot bring a weapon to school.
Yeah.
So you can't say I was
what if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense because if you are afraid the day before where you have to take a weapon to school, why not notify your parents? Parents, you notify the school teacher. School teacher that's bringing these kids in here and resolve this issue is called conflict resolution. We was taught in homes that has morals and values, you tell the teacher. Somebody fucking with you, you tell the teacher. Let the teachers know so when y'all have an altercation, you're cleared and you're covered. Documentation beats conversation. So where's the documentation to say this is self-defense? It's a premeditated crime because you took a weapon in fear. anticipating to use it.
That was premeditated, though.
And it said a track meet. You getting ready to run track with other kids and you got a knife on you. No, man, you got to go to jail. You got to go. There's no so when is it all right to kill the bully? I don't give a fuck what the bully did. He don't have a right to die.
No.
Man, you weak man. That's why I say teach the kids how to deal with bullies and this won't happen. We're all not equal. Even in nature, you can be feeding a flock of birds. There's going to always be one bird to come in and take the food from the. This is nature. Yeah. You cannot get rid of bullies. Teach the kids how to deal with them. Bullies build character. You go to work, it's going to be a bully supervisor, a bully co-worker. You cannot get rid of the bully. Teach our children conflict resolution. Everything don't have to end in violence. But when you come from the black culture, everything is disputed in violence.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to stop right there and address that. Everything in black culture is resolved with violence. There he goes upholding another stereotype. Now, I would like to bring to your attention, for those who have watched Charleston over the years and those who have not, let's just talk about Charleston. Every time we turn it around, Charleston, oh, thank you. Hold on. Charleston forever has a weapon on him. We have watched people try to run up on him and he pull out a knife. We have watched people try to run up on him. We watched this nigga sit on a podcast and he got upset over words and he pulled out a gun on the podcast, did he not? Somebody said that was real, though. It's not real, though. So let me ask you, Reppin' Magazine, every time you have conflict, do you resolve it with violence, nigga? Do you? Do you? People always say shit like that, but when y'all speak, y'all usually speak from a fact that you trying to remove yourself from the point you making. So go ahead and tell us that every time you... Somebody said, hell no. So at the end of the day, again, what he's saying is not real, though. What he said was not real. Because if he was real, he said black culture, that's our culture. And do you understand what culture means? So we always want to resolve stuff with violence as black people. If that's part of our culture, that means all black people partake in this. This is a part of who we are, and this is what we do. So no, he's not being real that it's our culture. This is the craziest part to me. So wait a minute. So in black, so let me ask you something. In white people's culture, do they solve shit with violence every time they get mad? Huh? Do they? Because the last time I checked, white kids are the first one to bring a gun to school and shoot up, let's just be real, and shoot up the whole fucking school because they don't like being dealt with because the bully is fucking with them. Should we take a moment of silence to let that sink in y'all niggas' head? Because I think y'all forgot that. Let me explain something to y'all. I don't have a problem with people speaking on culture, on children, on our society. But I have a problem when y'all take the most negative shit in our society and equate it to black people. Like it belongs to us and it doesn't belong to anybody else. It is a human thing. All children resolve most of their issues with emotions. And if they can fight, it usually goes to violence. That's what most children do. And here you have a grown-ass man who's got the nerve to say this shit like it holds some water coming out of his mouth when all we watch Charleston White do is resolve shit with violence. This man got upset because he was disrespecting people's family. They checked him with words on a podcast. Nobody jumped up, nobody bucked up at him, and this nigga pulled out a gun. He just got arrested twice in the past year. Both times he was arrested for assaulting somebody. We all watched the video where he was in the barbershop. Somebody two-pieced him up in his grill. Okay, he just hurt your feelings a little, nigga. He run into the broom closet and hide. When the nigga leave, what did Charleston do? Take his gun and chase after his ass. He's the wrong messenger to give this message, and it's not the type of situation where it's right message, wrong messenger. Say that the youth need to learn to resolve things without using violence. Because if you're going to sit here and tell me that white people do not resolve their shit with violence too, that Mexicans don't do the same thing, that Asians don't do the same thing, it tells me that, nigga, you buy into a stereotype that actually goes against your own fucking well-being because you a black man. These are human nature things. All human beings are not going to get along when you are raised in a society that promotes violence to everybody. Because even though rap music is violent, do you know how many motherfuckers that ain't black listen to rap music too? The fuck? Do you know how much violence is perpetuated to all children in our society? Again, let's keep it in the perspective of this. We're talking about a boy who took a weapon, a knife, to a school event. And we're talking about the fact that we want to always solve stuff with violence. I'm going to say again, did we forget that white children more than anybody else bring a gun to school to resolve their issues when they are upset with the bully? They bring a gun. And not only do they shoot the bully, they shoot everybody else in the school. The girl that didn't want to go to the prom with them, the teacher that gave them an F, the nigga walking down the hallway eating a sandwich just because he don't like the nigga eating the sandwich because right now he mad as hell. So did we forget that? Let's talk about school incidents. It's amazing to me. So again, you can say that too many people in society want to resolve their issues with violence. But no, the fuck you can't tell me he's telling the truth when you say that is a part of black culture. Nigga, that's a part of American culture. Fuck out of here. I'm going to come back and read these super chats in a minute. We going to finish listening to this ignorant nigga and y'all ignorant niggas in the chat who find a way to agree with the ignorance.
That is the problem, though. That's how
it's the culture.
That's the culture. That's how they solve when you have a serious issue. They don't even contemplate trying to talk it out.
We teach them.
Look at this old fucking cracker talking about some goddamn. That's what they do. They don't even try. Shut the fuck up. See, this is why he asked Charleston the question that he did. He wanted to get Charleston up here. Let me show you here. Let me share the screen with you. Sorry, y'all. This man, so that's the problem. Hold on, let me rewind that. Y'all gotta watch him say this.
Culture.
That's the culture. That's how they solve when you have a serious issue. They don't even contemplate trying to talk it out.
That's the culture. They don't even contemplate trying to talk it out. White man. So that's our culture. So y'all people talk out everything. Y'all don't contemplate none of that. Y'all talk it out, huh? That's what y'all do. Nigga, y'all serial killers. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Y'all eat people and keep them in your freezer. You kidnap bitches and got 17 bodies underneath you in 10 years. What are you talking about? Your kids shoot up schools. Your kids have no respect for their goddamn mama and motherfucking daddy. Y'all niggas live in trailer parks. That ain't nothing but a white ghetto. Stop playing with me. Go to Kensington Ave and look at all the crackheads out there on fentanyl. They white. You go stop. See, and this is why this white man brought Charleston White on the show. Y'all do know that, right? He brought Charleston White so Charleston could say the shit that he can't say. He don't want to be called racist, but he wanted to be said on his show.
Teach a no snitching rule, right? So our kids are walking around with these mafia rules, codes, and ethics of the streets that's held over children about no snitching. So now I have to take a weapon because I don't want to be a snitch and kill another kid. Oh, it's a simple solution. Don't tell the teacher. Tell your parents.
Yeah.
It's a simple solution.
I know, but
tell, motherfucker, tell.
But what sounds crazy, I know it sounds so easy, but the thing is, even for the criminal, the guy that would commit an assault, if you stop him before he does the assault, then they don't have to go to jail as long. You know what I mean?
Man, this is not that kid's first time grabbing a weapon, because most kids who grab a weapon from the first time don't kill people.
Yeah, of course. You bring a gun a couple times before you shoot it.
And if I was being bullied and I'm in self-defense, Even though he have an undeveloped brain and he's impulsive, why run?
I don't know.
Why get rid of the knife? You're showing criminal intent. Why throw the knife away where they can't find? He wasn't found with the knife in his pocket. He wasn't sitting down with the knife in his hand, ready to explain what happened.
Yeah. So, but do you think?
It's amazing to me how now he knows that this boy carry weapons all the time. This ain't his first time. And for him to say what he said makes no sense. If he stabbed that boy in the heat of the moment in his emotions, and that's when it hit him like, fuck, I stabbed this boy. Yeah, he gonna run. That's called your fight or flight reaction. You know the police coming, you don't know what the fuck you did. Yeah, you gonna throw the weapon because you don't want to be caught with it. Like, nothing he said made any sense. He's just trying to say shit to make this boy look even worse. You don't know this boy. This ain't the first time he grabbed a weapon. Sounds just like the white man in the courtroom. This boy ain't got no criminal record. He was a athlete himself, and he was a high athlete that was on his way to a great future. This boy wasn't walking around causing problems, and it's amazing that he can just assume that shit and say it like he knows it for fact.
I think that he had some sort of predisposition to wanting to murder. Is that what you're saying? Is that
No. Children don't wake up to kill because they don't have the brain capacity, the brain development to say, I want somebody dead. Children are impulsive.
Yep.
This was a tragic incident where a kid who don't have emotional intelligence.
That this is the one part that I agree with this nigga. And that boy is going to jail. I hope y'all put a lot in that GoFundMe, whatever the thing is, and I hope that he gets a good trial lawyer, and I hope that he doesn't get the maximum time. I hope that maybe he can maybe even take a plea for something less than murder and get like manslaughter or something. But that boy is going to jail. So I agree with Charleston on that part, and I agree with him here that boy can't rationalize what he just did. So I don't understand why he going so hard on this nigga, because now he contradicted himself.
Acted impulsively because he comes from a culture that promotes, propagates violence.
Mm-hmm.
Every day, all day, kill, kill, die, nigga, shoot, kill, kill. You can't take this in, and you lack training. You lack morals. You have to have a foundation of a value system to listen to this type of shit all day long, and you don't have no emotional intelligence where you've been taught to say, man, when you get angry, think.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath. So he was anticipating this to happen. That's why he had the knife, and we had this outcome. He didn't want to kill nobody.
I don't think he wanted to kill anybody. He almost kind of manifested it, though, just by his culture, that him around it, having the knife. But
Well,
accidentally,
I got a nephew that goes to school out there.
Mm-hmm. At Frisco?
And not to paint this kid in a bad image.
You already have.
This is why I used to tell my son, because I got a house full of guns. Mm-hmm. And I saw my son on Instagram one time with a blunt in his mouth. He was 14 years old with my guns. I told him I better not ever see you, because I'm trying to prepare this kid to go to the military. Yeah. You don't, man, take that shit down, because that imagery, you can't take it back. So here he is. He got a video. He got a photograph, whether it's a real gun or not. That image is gonna destroy him in court.
It is. They're gonna.
You better not go to Collin County, where it's a predominantly white area, where these law-abiding, upstanding citizens have a heart for this white kid who was killed with a twin brother.
Did this nigga just say, don't go to this county with all of these upstanding, law-abiding citizens? Y'all listen to that? I don't know. Did you hear what I heard? That's all I want to know. I want to know if y'all heard what I heard. Y'all heard that? So you see these subliminals that he keep throwing about this boy? I want you to understand that he's also throwing subliminals the other way. He says you can't go out to this all-white county with all of these wholesome, law-abiding white people. You see that shit? Let's play it again. Y'all missed it. Somebody say rewind. Let's rewind it. Let's hear Charleston. Let's hear Charleston talk about the white people he loves so much.
Where these law-abiding, upstanding citizens have a heart. You better not go to Collin County, where it's a predominantly white area, where these law-abiding,
Law about
upstanding citizens have a
upstanding.
heart for this
Have
white
a
kid
heart.
who was killed with a twin brother, a mother and a father. Their pictures with guns show a hunting image. His pictures show a gangster image,
Yeah.
gang sign. And you guys want to play the race card in Collin County? Chill out, black people. Let's make this about right or wrong, because you don't want to go to Collin County playing race. You'll lose.
And there it is, y'all. It's amazing to me. I want to say, I don't understand why it is that people, I don't know if maybe black people, I know Anthony Daniels played this as well. And he was like, yeah, we got to get my boy Charleston White on here. He's completely right. I agree with him. Let me tell you something about Anthony. He's a cooning nigga too. How many of y'all think that Anton, whatever his name is, not Anthony, but Anton Daniels, that's his name. How many of y'all think that Anton Daniels ain't a cooning fool? He is. Anton say some okay stuff. Anton will talk about the news and the politics. He should stick to that. But every time he gets to talking about black folks and black women, he calm down. He said everything that this man said, he was on point about Trayvon and everything else. You ever notice how Anton Daniels try to tell you about dating? But I'm always curious how you know anything about dating, Anton, because you claim you've been with your wife since you was in high school. So that means you've never had any experience in dating, but you let this nigga tell you he got all this advice about dating. He tells you how you're supposed to be so moral, how you're supposed to do all of this stuff. And then he got all these women he worked with, and he called the girl Michaela, who was dealing with the politicians. If y'all remember Michaela, she actually went off on some folks from the perspective of a Republican. I wasn't mad at her. She kind of did her thing in that conversation. But him and Michaela supposed to be friends. So he calls Michaela one time on a live show. And he said, let me call Michaela and ask her about this thing. She doesn't know she's live with him. He calls her and puts her on the speakerphone, and she goes, hey, boo, or hey, baby. And he says, hey, you on a live. And he just keep going like nobody heard that. Nigga, you be cheating on your fucking wife. Stop talking to people about morals, Anton. Stop talking to people about dating. The only dating you've ever done, if you've been with your wife since high school, is cheating, my nigga. It's not the same. It's not the same. So him and some place, I think it's Stage Say Cheese, those are the black platforms that continuously make a spot for Charleston White to speak. Other than that, I don't really see too many black people allowing Charleston White to be on their platform much these days, right? But you notice how he's moved over to the white people platform, just like a Candace Owens. Now he all on the white people platform because they'll let him come on there and say all of that ignorant stuff about black people, right? But as y'all notice the difference, he said so much nice shit about the white people. Subliminally, he told you that white folks have a heart, which is the opposite, that black folks don't. We always want to resolve something in violence. Like, these are such stereotypes that are not true at all. They are not true at all. I want black people to stop telling me what white people do if you've never lived around white people. Stop saying that. If all you've been is in the ghetto all your life and you've met a couple of good white folks, you don't know white people. So stop saying that you do. See, I lived in an all-white town when my mother thought being around white people was good. That's where the police burnt down my house. They was white. That's where they wrote, nigga, get out on our barn. This wasn't in the 50s. This were all of the kids. You know when I was a badass kid growing up, you know who house we hung at all the time? I couldn't go to no black kid house and smoke weed, drink, party, do whatever we wanted to do. We did that shit at the white kid's house. And the crazy part is that their parents knew they did this shit and didn't even care. It's amazing to me when you have not got in the world enough, you tend to put these stereotypes. But as a black man, he just projected every fucking stereotype that's negative on the black people that actually belongs to human beings. Our youth are lost. White, black, Asian, Mexican, whatever. They're all lost because of the country and the society that we live in. Stop equating that shit just to black kids, please. And then it's funny because everything he said that they should know better and shouldn't do, he a grown-ass, cock-eyed man that's balding. That's how old he is. Ain't got no hair on the top of his head. And this nigga has done everything as a grown man that he just said these other kids aren't supposed to be doing. He's a grown man and does the shit he said that they shouldn't be doing. So y'all see how Charleston White talk crazy about black people. And you see when he gets to talking about us, he gets hype. And he like to say all kind of negative shit. He ain't never got no love towards the black community. But he black. That's crazy as fuck to me. He got black kids, but he black. But he ain't never got no love. And when he talk, it's like he always speak like if he not talking about himself, like he different than everybody else, right? This is what the blacks that talk about black people do when they hold up those stereotypes and want to go on other people's platforms and down talk us. They act like they not talking about themselves, like they don't apply. Like, nigga, you know you black. Matter of fact, he is the typical stereotype of a black man. The stereotype, ghetto, ignorant, a drunk, in and out of jail, always wanting to fight, got these weapons, trying to be macho. As soon as you get some money, you go get some chains, then you go get you some hoes. Like, he's the negative stereotype that they put on black men. He's the very essence of that. Boy, if you don't shut the fuck up. But I want to show y'all how Charleston White talks to police officers and white people. I want you to see the difference in his demeanor because he's real tough when it comes to black people. If you've ever watched him when he get ran up on a black person, when a black person threatened him, he'd be online talking so tough about what he gonna do. He want to pull out all his weapons and boy this and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And yeah, right? He does all of that talking about how he wants to grape babies, my nigga. I haven't forgot that. I haven't forgot that. You told a black man you was beefing with, you was gonna grape his 7 and 8-year-old daughter. You niggas forgot that? For those of y'all that be fucking promoting this man and kissing his ass, you forgot he said that? So I want y'all to remember how tough he talked to black people. Now I'm gonna read these super chats and we're gonna play this video and we're gonna show you how tough he don't talk to white men and the police. Let's watch that next, all right? Let me read these super chats, though. Let me see. We'll go back to Chris with the $5 holler. Says, I feel sorry for him too. So if God can forgive lesbian adults and forgive him as well, we can forgive Mr. Penny. But Chris, boy, bye. Ain't nobody forgiving Mr. Penny. I don't got no forgiveness for him. Shout out for the $5. Says, Michi, have you heard anything out of Noah Bush story? 8 years in Georgia, an 8-year-old. Is that what you're talking about? Is it Noah Bush, the young boy that they found him in the water and he was they say that he drowned, but there was no fluid in his lungs. And the white kids ended up killing him, and then the parents helped them take the body somewhere, but none of them kids got charged and they all went free. Is that what you're talking about? I believe that's Noah. I'll be honest with you. There are so many stories. I can't keep track of the names and what story goes with what name, but I think that's what you're talking about. Yes, I have heard about it. And basically, they never got charged. The kids didn't get charged. The parents didn't get charged, and they just act like it was no fucking big deal. But it also happened in one of them, like Charleston White said, one of those places where the white people got good hearts. They're upstanding. They're law abiding. Their family is the police. So they ain't do nothing. They didn't do nothing. I don't even know why Noah mama and daddy want to live out there. I don't know why we go to places like that thinking we done made it. Why we always want to run to get away from our people to go run into another group of people just to find out that they're even more vicious than your people. I never understood that. When you move away from your people, moving around white people, you don't mean you made it. Stop that shit. It don't mean you made it at all. I walked around in the hood for many years, and yeah, we had to duck when drive-bys and shootings happened. But it wasn't until I moved to the white neighborhood that I had 3 white men try to snatch me in a car so that they could take me and kill me. It wasn't until then that I experienced that. If you're going to fight something, at least fight something you're familiar with. Stay around your people, because going and being around them people, it ain't no better. I promise you it ain't. And the crazy part is you're not used to the shit they're going to throw your way, so you don't even see it coming. Shout out to the Don again, coming back with the $4.99 holler. Says, I don't never see him give back to the community. Yeah, that's why I don't understand why people uplift him so much, to Don. Like, name one thing he's actually done for the community. He claims he's an activist. He claimed he this and he that. But name one thing Charleston White has ever done for the black community at all. Name one thing. I'll wait. We'll be here all motherfucking night. Shout out to Chris. Chris says, you see Rick Ross and 50 Cent patch it up? I don't know. But all I know is 50 Cent be letting niggas have it. You couldn't talk to me the way 50 Cent be talking to some of these people, and then we patch it up. The hell no, it's going to be enemies for life. You talking to me like 50 Cent be talking to people. But I ain't mad at 50. 50 be letting them have it. I feel the same way. Fuck them niggas for life. If anything, you gonna always come back to me like, Michi, can we patch it up? Because, bitch, I ain't coming to patch it up with you. I meant what I said. Shout out to Chris. Chris says, Miss Michi, I really like your dialogue. You speak truth to power. I like your swagger. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for the compliment and thank you for the $5. Shout out to Nina says, I get heated. Why some other entity funds idiots like why do some of them right fund idiots like Charleston White to smear negatives over our communities? But you know what? He probably do it. This since the beginning of time, it done always been somebody willing to coon and buffoon. Shout out to Tyrant. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, we're gonna play this video and see how Charleston White likes to talk to the police, though. Right. And I want to say shout out to Erica. Shout out to Erica for the Cash App. She sent the Cash App. I usually be forgetting to the end. I'm not trying to forget my Cash Apps. I'm getting better at that. I'm getting better, y'all. Let me see. I want to make sure I miss nobody on MX Network. I know that. I think I seen one and passed it up. Let me go back. There go Walter. Okay. I thought it was the second one. It wasn't. All right. As long as I ain't missed nobody. Okay, y'all. So I want to show y'all now how Charleston White talks to the other people. let me go find that video. Yeah, just hold your horses 1 minute.
Old American.
It should be, man.
And what the fuck this nigga got on? I'm gonna be quiet, just sit by wine. This is 28 minutes. We are not gonna watch the whole 28 minutes, but we're gonna watch about 10 minutes of this. I just want you to see how he conduct himself with the police, because he down with the police. He is. He is definitely down with the police. That's why he say go tell, because that's all he do is go tell.
How you doing, sir?
What's going on, man?
No, man. I'm Officer Becerra there in Police Department.
Yes,
the reason you've been stopped, sir, was ran your tags and shows no insurance.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you got insurance and a driver's license, please?
Oh, man, I just rushed out of the house. Man, picking my daughter up from the school down here, man. I think I left everything at the house, man.
Even a driver's license?
Man, I just got dressed, man, tying my shoes up, dropping one kid off at school. Hold on, man. Yeah, I got
Well, I don't need this one. I just need a driver's license after this. I'll hand this back to you, sir.
I ain't got it on there.
Do you have an ID or anything with you?
You want my license number?
Charleston White appeared to not have his insurance or driver's license with him, so that made things more complicated for the officer.
Charleston, first name?
Yeah, Charleston Jamal.
Somebody said that was years ago. I'm just saying, well, clearly, because the nigga got more hair on his head than he have right now. I don't know what that has to do with anything. I'm showing you the difference of Charleston White when he gets around police and when he gets around white people, how he talks to them versus how he talks to his own people. That's what this is for. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. It still shows you his interaction with them. But period. This was years ago, like this matter. Nigga, him talking to the motherfucking police. All the videos him talking to the police now is undercover. You can't see none of those. He telling on everybody.
Shoot, I rushed out the house, dropping CJ off, and left my mama. Yeah, goddamn. And I had money for man shoes. I want the new ID on.
What's it?
Hey, when you said expired?
It doesn't have anything on the computer at all. So this is a valid policy, right? Old American?
It should be, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be.
All right, man. I'll give them a call. If they say it's good, then I'm good. Okay. If they say it's not good, then it's gonna be a ticket.
Man, God.
All right. That's how it is, man. We don't really play here in Irving with no insurance. It's automatic ticket. All right.
I understand. Well, you see what's on the back of my phone. Hey, when you said expired?
It doesn't have anything on the computer at all.
We gonna fast forward when he make him get out of the car.
There for now, all right? Anything on your person?
No, sir. I I got a little 25 on. Okay, I got on the other line.
All right, Mr. White, you mind putting that down for now? So here's the deal, man. Since you got that little bit of weed on you, I got to search the car and your person, okay? Is there anything else illegal inside the car?
I got a little 25 on.
Okay, where is it on you? Okay, we'll just leave it there for now, all right? Anything?
He got a weapon. Anthony can't take a weapon to the track meet. Why this nigga got a weapon in the car just to take kids to school? I mean, I'm just saying, nigga, what you got a weapon for? You just taking kids to school, nigga.
On your person?
No, sir.
All right, go ahead and drop the phone.
Okay. Baby, I gotta drop the phone. Man, can I get my daughter situated while y'all do?
Not yet, man. Okay. Where's your daughter at?
She's at the school.
All right, yeah, not right now, okay? Let's deal with you.
Okay.
Good, drop your stuff.
Can I put this in my...
We'll just leave it up here, okay? You want to hop out for me?
I got a knife in my pocket.
Okay. I'm just going to detain you for now. All right, you're not under arrest or anything else.
Hold on. This nigga got a knife in his pocket. He got a grenade in the trunk. He got a switchblade in his sock. And he got a gun in the car. Why is this nigga so strapped? I just want to know. Where you was going? To war, nigga? I thought you was taking kids to school. I'm just saying.
It's just his pocket knife?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Anything else on you,
okay?
No, sir. That's it.
35. Can you 10 9, please? You said a can of mace?
Yes, sir.
Where's that mace at?
Damn, this nigga got mace. Goddamn.
Eligible Class C, no expired in 2008, clear 29.
All right, buddy, I'm just going to put it in the bag so I don't lose.
Somebody said no crime, but he in cuffs. Excuse me. No. This nigga got weed on him. He doesn't have his license. There's no insurance on the car. The tag done expired. So let's be clear. No, he is committing a crime, but he got the weed on him. And remember, he has this gun. But how many of you don't know Charleston's past? You do know that it has a felony from the shit he did when he was a juvenile. This nigga probably ain't supposed to be carrying this motherfucking gun. The motherfucker probably ain't even registered. He done told the police all of this, and you wonder why he's in cuffs. This nigga got a whole artillery, like the goddamn army fatigue on his ass. The nigga got every kind of weapon you could imagine, and he got weed, and he driving with no insurance and no nothing else. What the fuck you mean he in cuffs? Yeah, he in cuffs.
Lose any of your stuff, okay?
Yes, sir. That's not illegal, is it?
No, it's not. 10-4, thanks. Yeah, I want to make sure everything's out of your pockets, man, and then we'll go from there, okay?
I understand you guys' job, sir. Yes, sir.
Why are you so prepared, man?
Man, I got a lot of threats, man. I went viral. I walked into the police department, man, after I do a lot of community work. And I went to the police department, man. A lot of killings going on in the city. Spoke out against the Crips and the Bloods. So somebody did a viral video of me saying that I snitched on the Crips and the Bloods, and this went all across the country. So I've been getting a lot of death threats, man. On my life.
Where are you from?
I'm from Fort Worth.
He said, I snitched on the Crips and the Bloods, so I get a lot of death threats. Look at that nigga eye. That one thing ain't changed. This might have been a long time ago. Yeah, boy, here that nigga eyeball still out of whack though. He said, I'm an activist. He about to tell his whole life story. Watch. He about to tell him everything. What he ate for breakfast, who he fucked last week. He about to tell it all. This is nigga just telling it all. But he said, I be snitching on the Crips and Bloods. I got a lot of enemies. That's why he got all these weapons on him, y'all.
My daughter goes to school right up here at the school up here, man.
Okay.
So I'm just coming to pick her up. Just dropped my son off at work. I run a community center out there in Fort Worth called High Youth Outreach. So I do a lot of work in the community, man, stand against a lot of gang violence. So I get a lot of threats upon my life. So
That's good, man.
I've got over 100 threats, man, over the last. I just had to go to the police department and make some threats. So against the Harvey Street Crips, the Fort Trey Gangster Crips, and the Pyru Blood. So.
Somebody said how he had time to put his do-rag on. I did not notice that. You right. The nigga braids and his scalp was hanging out at the window. He sure did put that do-rag on.
you're out here trying to do good, and they're threatening you.
Man, my biggest, and then I embrace the police department, so I do a lot of community work on, advocating for.
Mr. White, can you face the car for me real quick?
Advocating for, better relations with us with the police department, man. And so my message is my greatest threat when I walk out of this door isn't the police officer that's looking to do me in the harm. It's not a Klansman. It's another black guy that looks like me. So I speak out against the black on black violence.
Did y'all hear what he said? He told the officer that when he walks out the door, it's not a police officer looking to do him harm or a Klans member. It's usually another black man. So I want y'all to listen to this coon. He's been a coon for forever.
My partner, yeah, just grab a seat right there, man, if you want.
Man, so of course I get called a coon, I get called a sellout. So if you let me show you on my phone, man, I can show you. I got, man, it's over 500,000 views, man, of me saying I'm tired of the gang violence. They're giving the kids drugs, they're giving kids guns. So man, my life's in danger.
What's this on?
35-inch, yes. Can you run the same individual all the way, see if he has a prior felony conviction or a gun in the car?
This nigga said he be promoting in the community, trying to stop all of the violence and everything that's going on and all the drugs and all the gangs. But this nigga in the car driving dirty, got 50 weapons on him and got weed, but got the nerve to be talking about quit the violence when that nigga ready to kill somebody at any moment. If not, what the fuck you got all the weapons on you for? I'm just saying. He's the wrong nigga to say the shit that he said about Anthony. And any black man, I get the white folks, any black man bring him on his platform to let him say that shit, but don't call him out on his hypocrisy. You a hypocrite your damn self.
This man, it's all over social media, man. My face blasted, mom's worthy, kids worthy. So yeah, man, I spoke at City Council Tuesday, made the mayor. Man, I do a lot of community work, so I'm very much well known in Fort Worth for the work that I do in the Stop 6 area. So, yeah.
Okay. I hear that's a rough area over there.
Man, that's 76105 zip code. Yes, sir. It's going to be rough in Fort Worth.
So is that where you're originally from?
Yes, sir. I'm born and raised. Born and raised. Used to be a troubled kid myself.
Okay.
God allowed me to make some bad shit decisions and choices in life, man. Ended up in the Texas Juvenile Justice Department. Spent most of my teenage life there. Got out in 1998, haven't been back to prison. It wasn't until I started having children that I started wanting to do something different in life. Never been raised by a man, never been spanked by a man, never been disciplined by a man.
Real quick for Reppin' Magazine, stop trying to get a comeback from that dumb shit that you said earlier. You say, Michi, he complied. Duh, laughing my ass off. Nigga, this not about him complying. You can comply and get out the car and shut the fuck up. I see this is clearly going over your head because you must be a Charleston White ass nigga. First of all, why are you riding around dirty like this? Why do you have all of these weapons? It shows how much hypocrisy this nigga has. And complying means you can get out the car and get cuffed and shut the fuck up. This nigga telling his whole life story. He just got finished telling the officer, I ain't never been whooped by my dad. The nigga is talking too much. Why you got all that? Then he told the officer that when he leaves out of his house, that he's not worried about a police officer doing something to him or a KKK member, that he's more worried about a black man doing it. Do you hear all of this shit that he's saying that he doesn't have to say? Then right before that, he was like, I work with the police. I try and get better things in the community. I'm trying to stop the violence, the drugs, the this, the that, and the gang. But nigga, you rolling around like a fucking gang member in an old school burnt orange pimp suit with weed in your car, with your do-rag in your pocket ready to put it on at any moment. You got 50 weapons on you. You ain't got no insurance, nigga. And you got a gun. And you taking your kids to school like this for what? So I think that you're missing the whole point of the conversation in this video, and it's going to fuck over your head. You should just shut up. Just shut up and listen, nigga. Do that. Sit back and be quiet. Because you're making yourself look stupid if you don't get the point of what's being said here. Complying is one thing. Doing all this ass kissing is motherfucking another.
I infer get a hug from a man.
This nigga just started out with his daddy hug.
You're originally from?
Yes, sir. Born and raised. Yeah, born and raised. Used to be a troubled kid myself.
Okay.
God allowed me to make some bad shit decisions and choices in life, man. Ended up in the Texas Juvenile Justice Department. Spent most of my teenage life there. Got out in 1998, haven't been back to prison. It wasn't until I started having children that I started wanting to do something different in life. Never been raised by a man, never been spanked by a man, never been disciplined by a man. I didn't first get a hug from a man until I landed in juvie hall. So at times as a kid, going to juvie hall was okay, man, because I found a father. Got out, man. My oldest brother, he served a 99-year prison sentence for murder.
By the way, this officer do not give a fuck when he's talking about he just was there okay and want him to shut up. Why does he tell his whole life story when he got his first look? His brother in jail serving time. Damn, nigga, it's just a weed. You gonna get back out tomorrow, you a snitch. What the fuck you telling him all of this?
Boy Robert, Sam 1324, insurance expires January 28th.
Yep.
I had a loving mom, retired from General Motors, man, God-fearing, but that lack of father. Growing up in the black culture, you grew up believing that going to prison is a part of manhood. You watch dad go, you watch your uncles go, you spend the night over your buddies' houses, their dad's in prison. Nobody's coming back saying anything bad about prison. Nobody. You turn on the television, you see it, it's glorified in the videos, you put on your headphones, it's propagated in the music. So with that young and impressionable mind, you grew up thinking that's the life. So I went in this institution, man, never had been exposed to the gangs. Got into the institution and said, man, this gang shit is everything I'm looking for. So I joined the gang and started writing home, telling mom, I don't believe in Jesus no more. Took on that gang culture mindset. Thought we was hardcore. But as I got older, I realized, man, we were just hurt kids.
The reason why I think this shit funny as hell, I don't know if y'all see it like this, but they keep showing the officer in the car searching for shit, and then every time they switch back to the other officer, this nigga just forever talking. He does not shut the fuck up at all. And the shit he's talking about is unnecessary. It's just unnecessary. It really the fuck is.
Got out in 98, man. My record was sealed.
God
Don't have
damn.
any felony convictions. But when I came back to my community, the African American culture is negative, right? Everything that we get is negative. The rap music, Master P had just dropped Ghetto Dope, taught you how to cook crack from step 1 to step 10. So here it is, I'm locked up from 14 to 21. Man, when I get home, I'm still 14. Even though I'm 21, I don't know how to talk to girls. So I spent most of my 20s trying to find an identity, hanging out with this guy, hanging out with this guy, hanging out with this neighborhood, just trying to find an identity. And through fatherhood is where I found my identity. Fatherhood is where I found identity.
So how many kids you got?
I got two. I got a 16-year-old son and a 12-year-old daughter.
Okay.
Their mom just went to jail. They live out here in Irving. Their mom just went to jail, man. I think she was on the run for.
This nigga will not shut the fuck up. He got out Master P and just dropped the song. I'll play this for a few more minutes, but I want y'all to know this goes on for 30 minutes, and this nigga is talking the whole time before they put him in the car. If y'all want to watch it, you just go look up Charleston White being arrested, and you can watch the whole thing. We're not gonna watch all 30 minutes, but I'm gonna play a few more minutes of it, and I just want y'all to see this nigga is telling it all. He never shuts the fuck up. He is the type of man you take into an interrogation room and you give him something to eat, and he just tell it all. He tell all the crimes he did. He tell all the crimes everybody around him did. He telling on everybody, nigga. This was hilarious to me when I watched this because he just doesn't shut the fuck up at all. And the shit he's telling this man don't give a fuck about none of this shit. Nigga, you going to jail. Why you keep talking? But I want you to hear the rhetoric. He's kissing up to this police officer. He's telling the police officer how the black community is bad. Our culture is fucked up. He don't want to be a part of us. Like, this is the shit he's telling him.
A couple years for probation violation. So I got custody of the kids, married. So finish my story, right? Went to pre-law school, went to Texas Western pre-law school, man. And just had a vision to work with children. Many of my buddies that I went to school with, man, got locked up at 13, 14, 15. 13, 14, 15. And ended up doing 19, 20 years. So I started a youth organization. It's called Hype About Hype.
He got a vision to work with children, y'all, but you see how he talked about Trayvon Martin, how he's talking about Anthony Carmelo. Do you see how he talks down on the black youth? But yet and still, you started an organization to help the black youth or to help youth, period. You don't give a fuck about the youth. You see the way he talk about our youth? Boy, please.
Outreach. We started going back into the juvenile systems, going into the schools, working with the probation departments. There was an incident that happened in Fort Worth where a woman by the name of Jackie Craig, son, she was arrested for calling the police to grab the son by the neck.
Jackie Craig business.
That is where I learned to embrace the police department. Rather than aligning with the African American community with the hate. We hate police, we hate police. I thought it was a great opportunity, man, for us to bridge the gap. So I took a chance, man. I started meeting with, at the time was the president of the Police Officers Association, a guy by the Rick Van Houten. I met with him. Chief Joel Fitzgerald was the chief at the time. I started developing relationships with Deputy Chief Houser, Chief Krause, who's now the chief at the time. I literally started developing genuine relationships with them. So I embraced when they brought the procedural justice to the city. So I sat one time in a meeting and I heard our department.
One second, Mr. White.
Yes, sir. I heard our department explain what procedural justice was to the African. I heard all the pastors, man, they was rejecting that shit. So I'm saying, man, he's supposed to be Christ-like, man. It didn't sit right. So, man, I stood up and my mother pastor was in there and I said, say, man, all of y'all complaining, but excuse my language. I said, man, we don't see none of y'all niggas in our neighborhood. Oh, y'all don't speak out against the gang violence, the black, we don't see.
I just want to play one more thing for y'all. And then we're going to be done looking at Charleston White. I just want to play one more thing for y'all.
The edges look like mom. When they take them wigs off, they should be looking just like this.
That's what ugly ass nigga.
Edges look like mom. When they take them wigs off, they should be looking just like this. The edges look like mom.
Okay, yeah. We done with Charleston. We done with Charleston for the night. I can't stand him. I would never understand why anybody in the black community upholds him, uplifts him. I will say this one more time tonight. If you need Charleston White to give you an epiphany, if he say some shit and you like, yeah, I don't always agree with what he say. His delivery might be a certain way. Yeah, he be cooning, but he be saying some real shit. I've never heard Charleston White say anything that I haven't heard an elder that we should respect say. Somebody else in life has probably already had this perspective. If you're old enough, you should fucking already know the things that he says when he says real stuff. If you've never had an epiphany until you hear Charleston White speak, you, sir, you, ma'am, you are a crack baby. You are slow. You rode the short bus. You probably were in LD, because Charleston White ain't saying nothing that we don't already know. And then all he does is take that little bit of shit that he telling you that we should already know. These are not amazing, fucking miraculous things he's telling you. And he mixes it in with a whole lot of disrespect, stereotypes, disregard, and disconcern for the community. This man is not anybody we should ever uphold in our community. He's actually a danger to our community. And you know why he is? Because he is willing to go around for white people, and he is willing to be their mouthpiece and say all of the things they wish they could say. He is willing to uphold them and all of the positive stereotypes that are just that, stereotypes. They really don't apply to them. It applies to a small portion, and then you put it to the whole. Does everybody know what a stereotype is? The definition of a stereotype is when you take a small group and you apply that to the whole. So what that means is, no, that is not what majority of people do. That is what they do. But he upholds all of these positive stereotypes for white people while downing black people to the fullest. They bring him in so that he can be their mouthpiece, because they've always done this. They even did that shit with the Bible. You think the white man spit the Bible to you on the plantation on Sundays? He got another black man to read that Bible to you, because when you see a black man do it, that must mean it's real. When you can get a black man to say these negative things about other black people, then that means it's real. When the white man says it, you can dismiss it as racism, right? You can dismiss it as prejudice. But when Charleston White says it, because he is a black man, they say, well, the black people said it themselves. But he doesn't represent us unless you niggas continue to post him, put him on your platforms, have him come and speak so y'all can get views. Y'all are the ones that say he represents us. He don't represent us. He don't represent us at all. And so it is very dangerous, because they use him to co-sign the bullshit they say about us. See, it's racist when they do it. When a black man says it, you know what it becomes? Truth. I don't know why we're constantly allowing this man to speak on our behalf. Somebody said something earlier. I don't know why he's still around and living. I don't either. I don't know why he ain't caught a fade. I don't know, because he does. He snitches on everybody. He's always messing with everybody. He calls the police on all kind of people for no reason, sometimes for a reason. I'm going to tell you the only reason he's this protected, only reason he ain't sitting in jail, because he's been arrested several times on serious charges, not minor charges, but he's still out to talk his shit. It's because he worked for the police. Like, he on the payroll. He's an informant. He got a problem. He got a police officer number in his phone that he called up. I don't know when we ever fucked like niggas with that in our community. I don't know when we did that, but I guess that's a new thing we do now. I guess social media allows us to change our standards, because one thing in our culture is we don't really deal with coons. We haven't done that since the plantation days. We have a name for them niggas. We've always ostracized them. But I guess in 2025, the internet has told you to embrace these niggas. Something wrong with y'all, for those of y'all that do. Now, with that said, before we do get out of here, I want to share with everybody. I did pin to the top of the YouTube chat, you guys, the actual, I guess, fundraiser for Anthony Carmelo, if anybody would like to support that. I am going to say again, Anthony's going to jail. He was at a track meet, and he was at a school event. I don't know why he felt the need to bring a knife either, right? Even if you're in a school setting and there was bullying or things going on, which they didn't know each other, they were in separate schools. I'm not understanding why he would bring it to a situation like that. Like, it's a track meet, all these schools are around, parents are around, teachers are around. That's not even a situation where I would feel that I needed to protect myself as a kid. So it was dumb that he brought it. It was even dumber that he pulled it out. I think it's a travesty. I feel sorry for the child. I hope that in the money that is raised for him, let's be real in our hope, is that he can get a good attorney, and that maybe he can get a plea bargain. We do not want him to go to trial. I also have a degree in criminal justice, a bachelor's, much higher than even the police officers that nigga, that cooning ass nigga Charleston White is always snitching to. I know more than they know when it comes to the law. And so I'm telling you, he doesn't want to go to trial. If he goes to trial, he's probably going to be found guilty. When you go to trial, you're going to be given the max. I don't really see a strong self-defense in this. I really don't. And so what I hope his attorney can get him, and I hope he gets money for a good attorney, is to get him a really great deal that he can be charged with manslaughter and bring the charges down so that he's not being charged with murder. And that in that manslaughter, that maybe he can work out a deal where he can get to like maybe 7 to 10 years, right? Versus the 25 that they may want to give him if he gets found guilty, right? Or even more, because what they do in the courtroom is they'll charge you with a bunch of different things. They'll give him like 25 for the murder. They'll give him another for carrying the weapon. They'll give him another for some dumb bullshit like throwing a knife and trying to hide or destroy evidence. Bullshit like that. And then they'll give him charges for everything. And then they'll make him serve that shit one after another consecutively, right? And then he'll end up with 45 fucking years. This is what they do to you to punish you for going to trial, because the court doesn't want to spend time and months going through trial for you, right? So I'm hoping that he can get a good plea deal. That's all we can really hope for, y'all. So if you would like to support his fund, so that his family can, of course, get him a good attorney. Also, so that they can probably have some time to deal with what's going on. I will tell you guys this, that when these things happen, it's very devastating to the family. And if you've never been in this situation where they just take your child away like this, I would tell you that it's a very devastating thing. And so it's like losing somebody. He's still alive, but I remember the feeling of when my 16-year-old son went to jail, and it was like, he's not going to survive through this. He plays like he's a tough guy. Prison about to fuck my son up. I didn't have an appetite. I could not eat. I could not sleep. I remember being physically ill and wanting to throw up, but having nothing on my stomach to throw up and dry heaving. I used to have nightmares when I did go to sleep about something bad happening to my son. Like, life was just really fucked up. I was fucked up. And if I had to go out and work a job at the time, which I wasn't, I was a stay-at-home mom and wife. But if I had to go out and go to work, I couldn't have done it. So even in that, his father may need a moment to be able to go to work and have to work and not take some time off. That's hard. He might need that. They might just need to rally around their son because their life changed. The other family's life changed too, but all of their lives changed drastically a couple of days ago. They woke up one morning and everything was fine. And by that evening, everything has changed. And so if you guys would like to donate to it, I did put that link at the top of the YouTube chat. You guys can get it up there. I want to share my screen, and then I'll read these super chats, and then we're going to be out of here. I want to show you guys where you could go. Let me share my screen. That's not what I want to look at. Let me see, y'all looking at this. Okay. So anyway, he is in the Collins County. Right there, you guys. There he goes. This poor baby. He is 6'9". You is a tall boy and 157. You a tall, skinny thing, ain't you? So there he goes. That look in his eyes is called, what the fuck did I do? He is in shock, and that boy is scared. He has been confined for 8 days so far. He has his approved visitor. That's why I said I learned a whole lot by looking at this. But they have gotten on his list right away. So his father is there. His mother is there. His girlfriend, his sister, and his brother. Okay. So all of them are there. Right now he has a $1 million bond, which I'm sure they're not going to be able to come up with, you guys. But this is where you want to go. You want to go to Collins County. Okay, so I can show everybody. Let me see if you can see my screen. You can't see my screen. So you want to go right here to Collins County, you guys. There goes the information. If you put Collins County Jail in the Google, it'll bring this up right here. Just so you see the picture, you know you're in the right place. Then you can come down here to inmate information. This is where you go to find someone in jail. He's in there, but this is inmate accounts. So if you would like to send him some mail to encourage him, right? This is court for visitations for his family and stuff like that, but they have his account where you can fund his account so that he has something on his books. Although the sad part is he's a kid being in the county, giving him commissary is probably going to get him punked because they probably going to take his shit and it's going to make him more of a target. So he might just want to stick with eating jail food right now. It's probably going to cause more problems than he really wants to deal with. But right here is inmate mail. So if you guys would like to send him mail, you will just go right here. And then, of course, you want to go to find someone in jail first. That will give you all of his information as far as his number, his inmate number and everything that you want to put in so you can locate the inmate that you are trying to send mail to. Know that his funds, of course, are going to help him with an attorney. But I would tell you, him being in there to look up and have mail from people who never even knew him, just to encourage him and let him know that it's that many people out here. Killing somebody is not an easy thing. So let me say that too, okay? So just because this young man stabbed this boy doesn't mean that on top of his life being ruined and him dealing with the stress of, I'm in jail, what the fuck did I do? I ruined my life. I'm sure that he's grappling with the guilt of, I killed somebody. I know y'all might not think that, but psychologically, taking somebody's life is not as easy as you think it is. I'm sure that that's hunting him too. Okay? So with that said, I think that if you don't even have any money to give to his fund, I think it would do a great deal for Anthony to look up and Anthony to have tons of mail from people who say, we support you, and we are here with you in this situation. Know that a lot of people are saying a lot of things, but there are tons of people that support you, tons of people that wish the best for you. And we hope that this situation works out to your best. I think that Anthony could stand to use some of that love. We have a lot of it online. We're arguing with each other over if it's race, if it's not, if the boy should go to jail, if he shouldn't. Fuck the kid, don't fuck the victim. He just this and he that. There's a lot of that going on. But if you're one of those people who take the side of Anthony and you understand it's a tragedy, or maybe you don't take the side of either one, you just know it's a tragedy altogether, but you have some care and concern and some feelings towards Anthony and you just think it's a fucked up situation, reach out, send the boy some mail. You will be surprised how much you will be blessing that young man, okay? So anyway, that is the information. Once again, you guys, you're going to go to the Collin County jail site. And all of y'all should know his name. So you put that in and you can get his inmate number and everything for you to do what it is that you need to do to send him some information. So if you're not going to give to the fund, that's fine. But write the boy a letter. And that's if you support him. If you like, fuck that shit, he's stupid. If you a Charleston White, then we're not asking you for shit. Fuck you too. Okay? But for anybody who wants to help him, that is what you can do. Okay? I'm sure he could use that. It'll go a long way. You'd be surprised. So let me read these super chats that I did not get to. Anthony says, hey, Sister Michi, this your fellow Detroiter, East Side, Warren, baby. All right, West Side, Pico, baby, but shout out to Warren. I used to leave super chats all the time before YouTube started hating. I know they took away my monetization forever, but I'm back. Thank you for rocking with me so long, my fellow Detroiter. And thank you for coming with the $5 super chat tonight. I appreciate it. And shout out to Chris. Chris is back in the spot. Chris be showing love every time I go live. So, we don't always agree, but, Chris show love. So I guess he support me. He one of those people it's okay to agree to disagree. I love Chris for that. Chris is back again with the $5 holler. And he says, I really think this was staged just like the Ice-T incident. What Ice-T incident? I don't know about that, Chris. I don't know. Let me see. Shout out. And we have Jordan says the twins ran up on Carmelo. If a fist fight occurred and Melo knocked dude out and his head hit those bleachers and passed, they'd still be complaining. Yeah, that would be murder though. That would be manslaughter off the bat because it would be reckless it would be careless and reckless actions that cause that. So by definition, he wouldn't be charged with murder. His bond would not be $1 million and it would be a manslaughter charge. So that would be a little bit different. He might not even been arrested on the spot. They might have did some investigating first. I wish that that's what would have taken place because this situation would be a whole lot different if that's what had happened, right? But that's not what did happen. So here we are dealing with what did happen. Shout out to you for the super chat though, and shout out to BIT coming back in here and says he probably brung it because the boy that died allegedly posted the day before that if a monkey shows up to the track meet and picks with guns. Oh, really interesting. I did not know that. So I did not know that. Now they do go to separate schools, but that would be interesting if he did actually post pictures saying if a monkey shows up to the track meet referring to black people and is standing there with his guns. I do know I've seen videos of the boys with guns. You know, and just a side note in saying that, I tell y'all this all the time and being prepared. There is a 14-year-old somewhere that'll take your ass out from yards away because you're not prepared. This is why I talk all the time about survival. They talk about their kids is using these guns to go hunt, but those be the very guns them kids grab when they run into them schools and they shoot everybody up. Okay, so we got to stop thinking that guns are bad. What we have to do is respect what guns do. We have to respect the firearm, right? Understanding that it takes a life. And so we have to know the power behind it. And we should never pull that trigger unless we're willing to kill someone. But you should have some firearms and you should train with them and you should be good with them. And you should also make sure your children and everyone in your house is good with them. It shouldn't be this taboo thing that you don't talk about, that the kids don't understand what it is. They should understand what it is and they should know when to use it and when not to use it. So it's called proper training, you guys. And you know, I've been preaching that for a long ass time. Okay. And so get your ass some guns and get out there on the range and get your ass the survival stuff that you need. So that when the shit hits the fan, whether it be weather, whether it be tariffs, whether it be whatever, that you have what you need. You know, if you're in New York, Canada might cut off your power. You're going to wish you had a generator like I told your ass, a solar one. All right, y'all. With that said, I'm going to get out of here. Two things I want to tell everybody before I go. Don't forget, the link is up there for his fund. You guys can go to the Collins County Jail website. You can Google it. It'll come right up, you guys. And the other thing I wanted to tell everybody, we will be live tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, right? Yes. So we have our call in tomorrow. So y'all come on back and join us. We will actually open the lines for this conversation on tomorrow for anybody who wants to give their perspective. You can come up on the panel and share it. Of course, we will be talking about that. We're also going to talk about tariffs once again, because tariffs is what's going on right now. I want to show you guys some videos tomorrow about China. We talked about tariffs a lot and everybody was like, you know, tariffs doesn't hurt the other people. And I'm like, yes, the fuck it do. Okay. So I told you guys already, right, that when it comes to tariffs, companies can just say, well, I'm not going to buy the shit. So China, because Trump has pushed up the tariffs, I told y'all this. What happens is that a lot of businesses have canceled their orders. So when you say that the companies here will buy the products and then they're going to pass the money over to the consumer and raise the price, not necessarily. The tariffs are so high, what businesses are choosing to do is not buy from China. He put a 90-day pause on all these other countries so they don't have these tariffs right now. And yeah, even though China is the manufacturing place of the world and manufactures a lot, there's a lot of shit we can get from other motherfucking places. Do you hear me? So with that being said, China has had so many of their orders canceled from America. The people are just saying, I'm not going to buy the shit because I'm not paying that much for the tariff, that they actually are closing down factories and they don't have workers coming in because all of their orders have been canceled. And they over there, it's business owners. If y'all don't watch news in other countries, you should. So I've been watching China's news. Not American news, China's news. And they're over there interviewing factory owners and they're over there crying their ass off because they're having to shut down their factories. They have like buildings over there where they rent out factory space because that's what people do there. They start factories and the people are letting go of their leases. There are factory owners crying because there's one in there, he's sweeping and there's no employees there because he's laying people off because he don't have nobody to work. So again, a lot of American companies have just said, fuck your products. They've canceled it. No, they're not going to order and pass the cost over to you. They're just not going to buy that product. They're going to find it somewhere else for another price. Because check this out. You can find those same products in China and other countries. Other countries manufacture too, right? And there's plenty that's manufactured in America. I know we don't think nothing is manufactured here, but it is. So you can find those things manufactured in other places, but China is the cheapest. But with the tariffs, these other countries are actually the cheapest because we'd rather pay a couple more dollars for the product that would have been a couple dollars cheaper in China to not have to pay thousands of dollars in tariffs, if that makes sense. So I know that people were like, oh, this is just going to fall on us. No, businesses are just not going to buy those fucking products. I told y'all. Right? So it doesn't always work like the news try and makes it seem, oh, it's going to go up in price. Businesses are going to put that cost towards the person. No, as a business owner, that shit costs too much. Bitch, cancel the order. Just cancel that shit. I'm going to find it somewhere else. I'm not buying that. So China is hurting right now. It really is. But we don't have as much manufacture here. So even though they put tariffs on our goods, we're not hurting in that way that our companies are closing down because we don't manufacture that much shit over here. So it's not really hurting us. Does that make sense? And China doesn't actually get a lot of stuff from us. So putting those tariffs back on us is not hurting us like it's hurting them, okay? So I'm going to play some of them videos. I'm going to show you. We're going to watch some China news tomorrow, okay? So we're going to get in that tomorrow. We'll definitely have the floor open for this conversation so that you guys can give your opinion on this, right? And we'll have a third topic as well. So I will see you guys tomorrow for the call-in. Some of you have emailed me, so let me say this before I get out of here. Boot camp started last Sunday. We've had our first class. It was an introductory class. We have not got into the ways of making money. We got into the systems we were going to use. We went over the overview of how the class will go and a whole bunch of other stuff. Wednesday, we did have a check-in, but all we did was go over, what are people's goals in the boot camp and what they want to do so I can tailor things towards my students. So with that said, some of y'all keep emailing me and asking me, can you get into boot camp? Yes, if you do not mind starting late. Our next class is this Sunday, but after this Sunday, you cannot get into boot camp. Once I start teaching ways to make money, I don't like people coming in because y'all be too far behind. Y'all be pulling us back with the questions and you're not along with the rest of the crew. So if you would like to get in, you can still go to the website, therealmeechiex.com, go to the course page on the website, and you can still sign up. It's still over there. And when you do, you will get the 2 classes we had already so far. Wednesday's not really a class. Wednesday is a check-in. I check in with y'all and see if you need help from what I taught you on Sunday. But because I didn't teach nothing on Sunday, we just kind of talked to see where everybody was. But you will get recordings of both of those classes. So there goes your answer. Y'all can quit emailing me and asking me. You don't need nothing from me. You don't need a special link. It is still on the website, therealmeechiex.com. Matter of fact, if you go to the link in the YouTube video at the bottom for the mentorship group, it's on the same page. So it's in the description of the YouTube video and for everybody on MX Network. So you can get in and you'll get the 2 replays. But after this Sunday, after we 2 classes in, nope, I won't accept no more people. So y'all have until Sunday at 7 p.m. to get in. After that, it will be gone off the website and I will not be accepting no more students, okay? So with that said, y'all, thank you for all of the super chats. Shout out to everybody who sent, to Erica, she sent the cash app. Okay, I didn't miss nobody else. Okay, all right, good. All right, y'all. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all be good. And stop listening to Charleston White. That shit pollute your mind. You might as well go smoke a crack rock if you're going to listen to that nigga. They both do the same damage. Y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all tomorrow.